my business account. And so just understanding the breakdown of that. So you want to use it for stuff that's related to your business, even when it comes to stuff for marketing, which I'll get to in a second. But you have to know what to use this money for too, so that you're not overspending in one way or the other. And then what I was saying is, because I, worked so much, I let the account build up, and it was averaging about, when I first started, $5 or $6 grand, and I was able to write myself a check out of there every 2 weeks. But what I'm saying is, as far as like giving yourself raises, because obviously I'm not going to live off my $50,000 or $30,000 or however you got to do it when you're first paying yourself forever. I want to make more money so I can spend more money. But I'm saying you need to get your business account to $10,000 before you give yourself a raise. Any questions on that? Anyone?
Okay, it might be a little far ahead. Since you have the EIN, the business account, and you're paying yourself personally from your business account. When you do your taxes, are you filing for the business account and yourself, since you're like on your payroll, or are you just filing for business account?
I do for both. Yeah. So I file my personal taxes, and then I file for S-corp, like small business.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing with the money management is, I would also, out of the business account, pay Lincoln, pay my lead balance, and pay on my chargeback balance with Lincoln, instead of having advances come through to take care of it. So when I get my advances, I'm getting the full amount. And so there's times where I would buy leads, and instead of just having a $700 or $1,200 lead balance, or if I had any chargeback balance, I would call them and have that paid so that my balance is zero. Or actually, if you pay a lead balance, it'll go into negative, so you have lead credit to purchase leads. And when I would purchase my leads, they're already paid for. So all the business that I write, that's my money. And that's another way to help build up your account. And again, that comes with confidence, because people get a little anxious sometimes when it comes to lead and spending, and I bought 20 leads, but I don't know if I'm only going to close 2 of them or 19. It just I had to make this money. So number one, it took pressure off of me, because I didn't have no balance. Some people get, not even if I do have a lead balance, I really don't care. But for some people, everyone's thought process is different. Some people get anxious when they have that lead balance or a chargeback balance, and they're buying more, and they have to work and have commission that's being split here and there. If you let that business account grow, and you discipline yourself to pay yourself every 2 weeks, you're not overspending on the personal side, you're still living with inside your means, then it should be nothing for you to call Lincoln and say, hey, I want to pay $800 on my lead balance, and then when you place your leads the next day, you don't have no balance, but you have your inventory to go out and make more money. Everyone follow that? Okay. And the same with chargebacks. So, you can't prepay a chargeback balance, but if you have one, then you can pay on it. So again, once you're getting your deposits, it is all your money. Okay?
Sheila,
Yes.
can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So the method that you're doing as far as like paying yourself every 2 weeks for your business account, does that mean, are you getting your pay through? You don't have to tell me, but I'm just curious.
Am I getting my pay through?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From that method. Okay.
Yeah, like you mean at the end of the month, do I still have a balance left to where my pay through is being taken, or am I still getting my pay through?
Exactly.
Yes, I still get my pay through. And if I have, like this month, I had a really high charge, not chargeback, but I did have some chargebacks, but a really high lead balance throughout the month. A lot of my business was pending for the end of the month, so I wasn't getting paid to the end of the month instead of getting paid more regularly throughout the month. And so, it's not an issue, because I've been doing this for so long, I can still pay myself every 2 weeks. But the business that I turned in at like the last 2 days of the month, I will write a sticky on there, or I'll call Lincoln when they get the business, I get the email, and tell them that I want all my business 100% repay before you advance me anything. So again, if I already had maybe, $2,000 pending, but my debt is $2,000 as far as chargebacks and leads, they're still going to pay me $1,000 because they're only going to take half of that money. But I have 2,000 pending as far as to be paid out, but I had business that I turned in that's going to pay me another $1,600. I know whatever's left over can still take care of all that, so I get all my money. I'll still get an advance, but I'll also still get all of my pay through at the beginning of the month. And so if you write a sticky note when you turn in your business saying that you want your advance 100% repaid to your debt, and then for them to advance you whatever is left over, you get all your pay through because all your debt is paid. Did y'all follow that?
As long as you're working.
And all this works only if you go to work. Because you gotta have money to be able to do this. And we'll talk about how I work too in a second. Any more questions about how I pay myself? Do anyone have a question about how much to pay yourself? Like what kind of salary to put yourself on starting out? You wanna know what to pay yourself? What did you make before you came here?
Every 2 weeks, I was $300, $1,200.
Okay, and how did you manage with that?
I paid my bills, and then there truly wasn't too much left over. But made sure all my bills were paid first, and then,
But you managed it.
yeah.
And so the easiest way to figure that out for yourself is to pay yourself what you made before you got here. Because clearly, you might have been broke, but you was managing. You know what I mean? I was managing. I was still living paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes when I'm paying myself, I still kind of live paycheck to paycheck. So if it gets there, I'm like, oh, I gotta go out and make more money. So that, because I'm not going to spend more out of the business account to supplement the personal account. I have to be more responsible in my spending. So obviously this takes discipline and sacrifice still. Because I'm still technically in my mind only making $50,000 a year. And so you have to discipline yourself to manage that and not spend more than that. And really just take the step to separate the money. Any more questions on that part before I move on?
I do have a question.
Yes.
So, what you pay yourself is what you transfer to your personal
I don't
account?
transfer it. I physically write myself out a check.
Okay.
And so every 2 weeks, I write a check for $1,500, and I won't write myself another check until the end of. So I kind of do it at the beginning of the month, and then I'll wait 2 weeks and do it somewhere like within the third week of the month.
Okay,
So that when I
that's
pay
the personal
myself
account
again,
then.
it's at the beginning of the month. And so I write myself a check from the business account to my personal
Okay.
account.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Just feeding off what you were just talking about, paying yourself. So let's say if you hired your spouse or a friend, whoever, to be your secretary, and you pay them from that business account.
Mhm.
That's all part of, at the end of the year, taxes, and that person can file taxes under your EIN.
I'm not really sure because I haven't done that, but if you're paying them, then that's not more than undertaking.
No,
We consider a 1099.
1099.
Subcontractor, they would get 1099 because you're not taking taxes out.
So they're 1099 as well, just like we're 1099.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you need to keep track of that.
Yeah, you will have to keep track. They actually have payroll checks for that, so it's better to just set up a payroll, because you can set up a payroll with your account too, with your business account. I didn't do it starting off because all I was paying was myself out of my business
So if you
account.
set up a payroll, will it automatically take out the?
It automatically takes out
Right.
taxes and stuff, but it costs you money. It's easier to do 1099 because there's stuff.
So they have to
Right.
file their own
So they have
taxes
to
just like
file
we
their
do.
own taxes on it.
And come see me if you need a contract.
Becomes what?
If you need a contract. Because you need to have a contract when you hire somebody so that they know that you're not keeping track of any unemployment
Right.
deductions or any tax deductions. You need to cover yourself too. And so if you're trying, even your wife,
Right.
everything needs to be documented. Seriously.
Go to Chrissy for that. She actually helped me. She came over to my house and she was the one who helped me set up my EIN and my fictitious name for the business. Although it is self-explanatory, if you go on the site, you can always call them. It's not that difficult. but she can help you out.
She went there.
Is it the IRS.gov site or
The IRS.gov site is for your EIN. PA.gov is for your fictitious name. And you can check to see, I mean, you guys should want to get your names anyway, because you have your contracted with Lincoln, you're a business owner, you should want to get your business name.
Yes.
And it makes you work and think different as well, because this is your business. But, yeah, you go through PA.gov and it's $125 to do that.
Secrecy.com.
Oh, here, let me give you one sheet.
And that,
The first one is the IRS. Yeah.
1-800-CHRISSY.com.
You're welcome.
I'm putting that on pause. They better not call me. This is Sheena Hancock's class.
I'm gonna call you.
Yeah, I have one here.
And Sheena said, do not pass go, do not collect $200, see Chrissy.
It's gone.
Sheena, there's one more. Just one more.
Okay. Does anyone else need one?
It was for the doctor.
Any more questions about the paying yourself, opening the business account, EIN, fictitious business name, taxes? I'm sorry? Anything about what I talked about before I move on to the marketing yourself part? Okay. So the next thing I did, well, I kind of did this when I first started, but it's an important thing to do, is marketing yourself. And I know a lot of people are, you know, on the social media, you're always putting up posts about you can protect loved ones and all that type of thing. But still take the time. It doesn't have to be very, you know, fancy. Just have a strategic plan, be a little creative in marketing yourself. So you're going to have to take the time to invest in the door magnets and the yard sign. What I did was I did 5 things. I did the yard sign, which I leave in my yard, and every couple of months I rotate it around to somebody in my family or a friend's yard, and I leave it sit in front of their yard. And if one of my friends has a business, I'll ask them, can I put my yard sign outside of their business? I got the door magnets for my car. Instead of giving out just the regular cards from Lincoln, the business cards, I do the magnets to leave on people's refrigerator, because when people have, or our clients have their family over or friends, the kitchen is always a place where folks gather. Someone's always going in and out of the refrigerator. And yes,
Can I say something on that?
yes,
You guys should actually have both. You should have magnets and have
cards.
the regular cards, and give the
Right.
magnets to your actual client, like the people who actually sign up. And then first of all, you don't want to carry your magnets with you. So, because if you have them in your purse or anything like that, you have credit cards or whatever, it can actually wipe that stuff off there. So don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put all mine inside of like a little folder.
Yeah, it could actually mess stuff up.
Okay.
But carry both. Okay. Personally, what I do in my bag that I have, I keep my magnet cards just in there. So after I sell somebody,
So you get one of those.
The magnet card. But anybody out the street or anything like that, they get a regular. I think they're 40.
For the magnets or for the cards?
For the magnets.
That's it at the
Where do you
magnet.
guys get your magnets from?
Lincoln.
Yeah.
So funny y'all said that. Before I even knew that we had opened the business, I just happened to be in Walmart in a little office out and seeing some magnets that you could put your business cards on right in Walmart. And before I
Right.
even knew we had those, I was so excited and start giving to my clients, like you said, everybody has sold policies.
Right.
So you can get them right in Walmart for like $8 for.
Right, you can take the time to put them on, stick them on the back of your own card. Or I go to Fast Signs, because Fast Signs in Monroeville and then Johnette Plaza, they have a lot of stuff that's already approved by
Yes.
Lincoln, so you don't have to worry about drawing up something, sending it into their marketing department and making sure it's, okay, I'm gonna pass all this stuff around in 1 second.
Right, because
But
everything
make
needs to be
sure-
approved.
Yeah, it needs to be approved. They have yard signs that are approved, door signs that are approved, business magnets, banners, and that's on your little sheet there. Fast Signs in a row. Can you pass these around? Fast Signs in Monroeville. They also, I do the pool tab form, which I'm sending around, so that when I'm at a doctor's office for my kids in apartment buildings, churches, community centers, I just post up my stuff. I don't get out of control with it. Sometimes, depending on the place you're in, they want you to ask for permission to do this. But if you're just discreet, like, put it up there and keep moving. I've never had no one call me and say anything. And again, that's just the risk I'm willing to take because I want to market myself and my business. I also got these cards made that are coming around that I'm going to show you real quick. And they're called wrap cards. Now, I did not get this approved through the company because Lincoln Heritage name isn't on it. It just kind of says, final expense, the largest company, protect your loved ones. It has all my info in it and what we do. And so I got these made to leave in places like barbershops, grocery stores, hair salons, churches, laundromats, right. Just everywhere where people leave all their information, I leave mine too. So if there's a place at a restaurant, I leave those cards there. And people have called me. I've written business off of doing those.
Sheena, do you get those cards from Fast Signs on them?
The ones, the bigger ones, the wrap cards?
The one.
Yes, I designed that myself and sent it to Fast Signs. So if y'all want to use the design and put your information on it, be my guys. There's 2 different designs there that I did and I sent there that you guys can use. Yes.
Your magnet card, is it identical to your business card?
Mm-hmm. I just took my business card up there and told them, I meant to take one of the numbers off of there, but I took my business card up there and just told them I want this card with my picture on it and a magnet.
So they already have the.
Shell, yes.
Yeah.
Or you could just take your business card. They
I'm
can figure
saying
out
with
how
the
to do
photo.
it.
You remember what the cost was per 80 or
I can't remember, but they can quote you. And again, get what's affordable, just like we tell our clients. If you gotta start off with only 25 or 30 business cards, then do that. But if you're able to get more, usually I try to order about maybe 100 at a time. And they'll go fast, every probably like 3 or so months, I'm placing another order for more cards or the wrap signs. Any more questions on the marketing? I mean, there's so many other things that you can do, but again, I'm just trying to keep this simple. I don't want it to be overwhelming for you guys, but just trying to create some clear steps, some things that I did and I put in place to kind of get the ball rolling for myself when I first started. Yeah. Did you have a question, Chrissy?
I had a comment. She can have the question.
Right there.
So at Fast Signs, they already have all your templates and everything.
That's what my comment was gonna be.
Like our photo or our
Right.
number.
So when you contact them, just say that you're an agent with Lincoln Heritage. They already have approved templates. You can talk to them over the phone. They can email you what they have, or you could just go there and see what they already have. But a long time ago, when Ty Scott started, he got a lot of things approved so that we don't have to go through the same process. We can just go there with our information and have it put on the card as far as your name and your phone number.
So that was a comment I was going to say. If you like the template that Sheena has, all you have to do is go there and tell them Sheena Hancock's templates.
Right.
And they're going to pull everything up and all you do is add your name, your phone number, and your picture. It's very easy.
And this is something that would come out of the business account. So anything that has to do with your business, again, gas, and I cheat. Even if I ain't going to work, I use my business account to put gas in my car. And as far as I'm concerned, I work every day. Gas, stuff for marketing, any travel expenses in relation to your business, and anything that costs. If you have to get copies made of your money sheet that you present to your clients, or pens, folders, a new binder, your green shirts. And what this does also is it helps you at the end of the year when tax time come around. If you're not really good with saving receipts, like myself, I print off all my statements from the whole year, and everything on there was related to my business, so everything's a write-off. There are also, I forgot to mention this, there are some bills you can pay out of your business account as well. Your cell phone, because your cell phone is used for your business. And if you have your internet service, if it's not like, well, even if it is bundled, my tax guy found a way to do it, but because we use the computer, internet, even stuff such as your computer, your printer, you buy those things with your business account. But your internet service can be written on or paid from your business account as well. Yes? I'm sorry? Your car payment?
Yes.
I don't have, you
Yeah.
pay your car payment either?
If it's
I ain't had a car payment in a minute.
Better off using mileage.
Right, yeah. So that's why I get my gas out of there, but if you use your mileage, you get more money back on your taxes anyway. Yeah.
Check with your accountant, because if you have your business account that's actually set up, you can actually lease a car, through your business, okay?
Oh, really?
Through your EIN, and then that, if you have it in the business name, then that could be considered a write-off, but you wanna definitely get that cleared with your,
Whoever you're doing your taxes with, or if you have an accountant.
And so many square feet of your house, if you have an office space, you can deduct so many square feet.
Right.
We have a whole tax sheet.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is related to the tax deductions, but as far as just what to pay for with this account, it helps at the end. So again, that's why I said there's some bills as well that I forgot to mention: cell phone, cards, anything you would need to, as far as like your internet service, that room, even it's like a percentage of the light bill or something weird like that. So just keep that in mind as far as the money management part. Any questions about that before I move on? Before I move on to how I run my business.
Your business account, is it the same as your residential account? Residential address? Sorry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's like when I get my statements, it'll say desired life and my home address. I don't use the office address here. Or you might charge me.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you use a different address and you have a home office at home, you're not going to be able to take the deductions because you're using a different address. You want to use your home address. So that way you can have parts of your utilities and mortgage and things like that deducted.
Okay.
So it is the same address.
Was there a question over there?
I was gonna say, your personal account and your, business account, are they at the same bank? Or
No.
they're different, they're totally different, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I originally tried to get it set up at the same bank just because I already had accounts with PNC, but when I did it with the EIN, they wanted a lot of information that wasn't necessary for what I was trying to do.
The bylaws and everything else.
Right.
Operational agreement is what they were.
And another thing I was looking on here where you said that, the Citizens Bank and the other bank.
Dollar Bank.
Dollar Bank are only in Pittsburgh.
They're not the only ones. Those are just the two that, I mean, I'm sure there are other banks. I'm sure Fifth Third Bank will do it. First Niagara, Huntington. I just know the ones that I went to, right, because I already had business accounts at these ones without having or needing a whole lot of extra material. I know just insurance.
Credit unions do it.
Citizens,
You have a certain amount in like other banks do, like some said
Right.
$2,000.
No, you to usually open up the business account, $50 will get it open. I know at Dollar Bank, I don't even know if there's a minimum you need to have in there, maybe 500, which, you know, if you're having your money deposited in or you're working anyway, shouldn't be an issue.
Citizens Bank is like that too, you have to have a certain amount of
No,
money.
they changed it.
They changed it.
Yeah, be careful of that, because the account, business account that I have, we have a minimum balance of 21,000.
Right. Well, everyone's got one.
They have several different business accounts. You know.
Everyone's not doing it big like you.
No. But you have to watch. The only reason we got out of it, happened to pay the fee, was because we were a nonprofit.
Okay.
But we're
definitely
this is not going to
for
be a
profit,
nonprofit, so they're going to make us watch that the bank doesn't just say, yeah, we can do it, and then all of a sudden you see this. Oh,
Well, yeah, those
minimum
are the
balance
things
of
you find out
21,000.
up front when you're opening the account. Is there a minimum balance that I need to have at the end of the month to keep this open without receiving any type of penalties or extra charges?
Yeah,
And
daily
what is
fees.
required to open up the bank account. So, deal with some place that's a little bit more lenient. Again, this isn't something that needs to be really complex at this point. It's just to create some organization and have you start dividing your money and understanding where your spending goes. Okay? And then also Clearview Federal Credit Union, they'll let you to open up a business account as well.
That's what I was trying to get to. Make sure you find out ahead of time, because we
Right.
didn't find that out until afterwards and started seeing fees come out.
Right, and they'll take your money. And so the next part on here, did anyone have any more questions about that section? Okay, so the last part that I wanted to go over with you is just as important as managing your money and really taking the time to divide your personal and your business account and split up where you're spending your money is actually running your business. And so, you know, now when I'm recruiting, I know we always talk about it on the calls and training and stuff about, you know, you're your own boss, you get to write your own paycheck, you get to work your own hours, but the truth of the matter is we don't really get to enjoy those luxuries until you work this business like a 9 to 5 for a consistent amount of time. And so for me, starting off, and this hasn't been written or proven anywhere, I just felt that I needed to work this business like a 9 to 5 consistently for the first 2 years before I started to enjoy the luxuries of taking off or cutting down my work hours or being a little not as strict with my work schedule. And so, you know, it's just a matter of understanding that yes, we are contracted with Lincoln Heritage, but you work for yourself. And so you really have to get in your mind that you are running a business here and not working just to get the pauses, because that makes you just a regular employee. You have to work this like a 9 to 5. And so what I did was I brought which I showed before, but my daily schedule that I made. And so this is what I follow all the days that I'm working in the field. If I'm working an administrative day or doing office work, then, I mean, obviously I'm probably at home doing that or running about getting things that I might need, you know, make copies of papers or putting together folders. But, yes?
I didn't want him to stop you. I just wanted the paper to show it on the screen for the video.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
And so that's the daily schedule that I will pass around. That's my personal daily schedule. I'm not saying it has to be your daily schedule. Obviously, your schedule will be what works for you. As far as what time you get up, what do you need to do before getting out in the field, how you want to work your day, and working on disciplining yourself throughout the day. So at first, I was on the phone all day. I'm buying stuff on the internet while I'm driving, you know, doing a whole lot of things, distracting myself, eating, taking lunch breaks at any restaurant that, you know, I could find. And it takes a lot of time. You know, once we get out there and we start working, those hours go real fast, or at least mine did. And before you know it, it's dark outside. You ain't have no apps, and you're like, whose door can I knock before, you know, 8 o'clock, before it gets too dark? And so by creating this schedule, I have it on my refrigerator, I have it on my living room wall, I have it in my bedroom, and I have it in my car. I keep it in front of me constantly so that I know what I'm supposed to be doing. If it's one of those mornings, I'm trying to get kids together, I'm on a call, I need to get out the house, and I just can't focus at the moment, I just look at it. Okay, I need to be doing this so I can get going, or, you know, just keeping myself in line with what I need to do for the day. And on top of that, I have my planner schedule. And so I know I'm asking a question. When you guys set yourselves up to work for the month or for the day, like who is actually writing out the days that they're going to work that month and what they're going to do throughout the day? So just out of curiosity, who's been here a while, like over a year? Okay, Dana, what do you do for your month? Like, how do you know what you're doing as far as the work that you're doing?
Well, I've started ordering like my leads the week before.
Okay.
So I know what my plan is, but I'm just now starting to get on your system as far as writing my, in the calendar. So I do have it on the calendar, but I don't write out, like, just for instance, say I know that I'm working in Center County. So I know that that's my schedule. I know that's where I'm going. And once I'm done like working, I'll write on there whether I wrote a policy or if I didn't write a policy or how my day went as far as presentation and stuff like that. But as far as right now, an actual plan for that week, I just kind of put it in my head and then work out.
Okay, what hours do you normally work?
When I'm going away like that, I normally go to my first house at 10 o'clock, and I'm out all day till I'm, till like 8, depending on where I'm at. And I do try to go away a lot, so depending on where I'm at, depends on, how I work it, but I normally stay out till like later.
So you work full days, is what you're saying, anyway.
Yeah.
Regina, what do you do? Because you've been here a long time, I just want to know.
For me, I mean, I don't have to schedule my life around other people, so it's easy for me just to get up and go. So what I typically do is I get my leads Friday or Monday, whichever, and then I know whether or not I'm gonna go out of town that week or stay local, and for the most part, I do travel pretty much every week.
Right.
And then now I go to Virginia at least once a month. So, I get my leads, and then if it's a meeting week, I will work Monday through Thursday away, and then I'll come home Thursday night, so I'm home for the meeting on Friday. If it's a non-meeting week, I'll typically work either Monday through Friday or Tuesday through Saturday. I
Okay,
commit
but you have a schedule though,
Yeah.
that's a plan.
Yeah.
You, regardless of the fact that you don't have to schedule around people like most of us do, obviously, if we have kids and families, we can maybe only travel some weeks as opposed to other weeks. But you still have a plan, like what days you're working. That was the point I was trying to make, like nobody really raised their hand when I asked, do you know what you're doing throughout your day, throughout your week? I mean, think about it. Even if you're at McDonald's, you have a schedule, right? This is your business. This is your job. You're working for yourself. Make yourself a schedule, and you have to commit to it. And so, what I do at the beginning of every month, and I'll pass my planner around so you guys can see it. I write down my goal, my DMP goals. I write down the number of apps that I wanna write that month. And then I write down the days that I'm working, so I'll put a W on the days that I'm working. I will mark the days that I'm off. I mark down the trainings. So basically the calendar that comes out every month that shows, all what's going on. Whatever things that I'm attending out of that calendar, I mark it down so I can work my schedule around that. I'm working my schedule around my kids and my husband. And so can I hold this up real quick? And then I'll pass it around so I can kind of show what I'm doing. Okay, and so with this calendar, I will mark if I know that I'm working out of town for, Monday through Wednesday or just 2 days a week, however I'm doing it.